So the process of the cosmic future is what was indicated to us in the last few lines we read earlier. A lost end of far lines of divinity, he mounts by a frail thread to his high source. He reaches his fount of immortality. He calls the Godhead into his mortal life. Well, that is actually the greatness of man. There is something in him which aspires, which tries to go up, tries to exceed himself, tries to see destinies beyond human destinies, tries to find out whether there are prospects of a higher being entering into him. He called the Godhead into his mortal life. That is the greatness, that is also the hope of evolution. It is in that sense that man becomes a perfect bridge between the beast and God. He is the link. He is not one who has grown out of beasthood. He is not one who has come out of his ape formation, which was never there. But as a mental being, he has evolved through the prone, obscure beginnings of time and come to this particular stage that now he can call the Godhead into him, into his mortal life. Now, these are the prospects which Savitri has now seen in her dream state, in her dream consciousness, Swapna. Actually, the truth occult exists not for the mind of ignorance. That is what the Rigveda says. It says that truth, Ritam, Satyam, is not for the ignorant mind. It is something which lies far beyond him, and it is that which must enter into his working, into his consciousness, into his soul, into his spirit. And this is the prospect which Savitri is seeing in her dream state. In other words, Savitri has already begun her yogic journey with the realization of the cosmic past. What it stands for, how it is an obstacle, how it can go further, and how the future can enter into life here upon earth. The whole thing has already become a yogic realization for Savitri, and that is what we are now being told. All this the Spirit concealed had done in her. It is not only that she is seeing this dream, this swapna, this whole evolution of man from the obscure beginning to the Godhead entering into the mortal state. It is not just that. Everything is now a yogic realization, experience and realization of Savitri. It has become a part of her yogic gain, asset. All this the Spirit conceived had done in her. It is not seen in her. She has already now that thing in her. In Savitri, Godhead has entered. In other words, the mortal life of Savitri has now been possessed by the Godhead himself. That is the great entry into her yogic state now. Now, all this the Spirit concealed had done in her. Whatever we have seen so far, the dream, the cosmic future, the cosmic past, everything, has been shown to Savitri. In other words, it is from that point of view we can say that this dream which has disclosed the entire panorama of evolution to Savitri is a parable. And that is why the name of the canto is the parable itself. Why it is a parable? Because the whole dream is a parable itself, which has now become for her a yogic reality. The parable has become a truth of her consciousness. The parable is in that sense very apt phrase also used by the poet. All this the Spirit conceived had done in her. A portion of the mighty Mother came into her as into its own human part. That is the greatness. Godhead can come into the mortal life only when the mighty Mother enters into the human part. This has happened in the case of Savitri. It has happened in the case of Savitri. Into her as into its own human part. Amid the cosmic workings of the gods, it marked her the center of a wide drawn scheme, dreamed in the passion of her far-seeing spirit, to mold humanity into God's own shape and lead this great, blind, struggling world to light or a new world discover or create. Already the mighty Mother is working towards the new kingdom entering upon earth, the kingdom of God, the new city taking birth upon earth. The mighty Mother has entered into Savitri for that purpose. Dreamed in the passion of her far-seeing spirit to mold humanity into God's own shape and lead this great, blind, struggling world to light, or a new world discover or create. Well, at this stage, there are three alternatives in front of Savitri. What is going to happen, that is not disclosed at the moment. Either she must mold humanity, or discover a new world, or create a new world. But things must move in that direction. By what process, in what manner, by which steps that will happen, that need not be told at this point in the yoga of Savitri, because it is the beginning of her yoga. But the possibilities are thrown open to her to mold humanity into light, create a new world, or discover a new world. Which is going to happen, the poet has kept it back at this stage. In fact, he is not going to spill the beans at this point. What will happen? It will happen later on, when the yoga of Savitri proceeds to the degree of maturity that one of the possibilities materializes. That will happen. Now, in the entire cosmic scheme, we have various stages by which the advance was made. First, there was the absolute void. It is in the absolute void the inconscience was born, so to say. Out of inconscience appeared matter, and it is matter that appears to us as the absolute. That everything is based on matter. The foundation is matter, no doubt, but it is not just a foundation. It is not taken in the sense of a mere base or a foundation. but it is taken as something which is capable of giving rise to new faculties. That it is matter which produces life. It is life which produces mind. It is mind which will produce the higher being, the intermediate race, the Gnostic race. It is that which is what is normally thought in the sense of the materialistic philosophy. That matter is all, but that is the first discovery of the Taittiriya Upanishad, of Varuni Vidya, of Varuna. Matter is the first foundation. Matter is Brahman, and on matter is built up. Then he goes again for 1 year, one full cycle of experiences and realization, and says, yes, prana, life is Brahman. Then he says, no, mind is Brahman, mana is Brahman. He goes further, and he says, yes, vijnana is Brahman. And finally, as his tapasya progresses more and more, he says that, yes, Ananda Brahman. Ananda is Brahman, and it is that Ananda which is present everywhere, throughout the creation, whether it is dark or bright, everywhere it is Anandam which is present here. Anandamaya Srishti, that is what is his last realization. Now, in the dream consciousness which Savitri is seeing, the first stage which she has seen is only the material creation, the material foundation, Annamaya. Then will come Pranamaya, then will come Manomaya, then will come Vijnanamaya, then Anandamaya. These are the stages by which the evolution will advance. And advance means not only that man's soul will go from one stage to the other stage, but also those higher and higher degrees of consciousness will enter into his soul, into his working here, into life here, into matter here, into his body here. That is what is this creation meant for. And that is what is being revealed to Savitri in a dream state. And it is again, in that sense, we can say that it is a perfect parable. Savitri's parable of the future creation. See. If the mind opens out, then if the mind opens out, man can rise to the supramental status. That possibility is there for him. The way in which matter has opened to life, the way in which life has opened to mind, the way in which mind can open to supermind, in the same way the entire creation can open to the divine Ananda and make that thing as a part of its existence here. That is a possibility which is now being seen by Savitri in a dream state. How of transition from mental to spiritual can take place. Yes, transition has taken place from matter to life, from life to mind, from mind it will take to supermind also. It will also go to higher levels. That is all right as a metaphysical statement. But by what process, in what exact manner these things happen or will happen, that is not known. That is not known. How really matter can support life and how life can work in matter so that her powers can express themselves in matter, how exactly, by what process, by what mechanism those things happen, that is not known. And that is the great mystery of nature's working. That nature's mystery, nature's working is held back from us. That is why everything appears to us occult, hidden, kept away from our knowledge. And unless we have a hold on that knowledge, we cannot be the masters of nature and shape our life in whatever manner we would like it to be shaped. That happens later on. But man's manhood lies in opening himself more and more to the higher powers and allowing them to work in him so that these things can be worked by that mysterious secret nature in him. Well, will that knowledge be given to us? How nature works, how a transition from one state to the other state takes place. Matter has given rise to life, life has given rise to mind. All right. But how it has happened? Otherwise, it is only a statement. We don't have a clue by which we can work out every detail and reproduce that sequence the way in which we would like things to shape ourselves. That is held back from us. And it is from that point of view we can say that this particular knowledge which is required for Savitri is not given to her yet. She is told, mold humanity into God's own shape. All right, mold humanity into God's own shape, all right. But please tell me, how do I do that? How do I proceed? It is a good statement, it is a good advice, but I need some clue, some mechanism, some key by which I can proceed. That is not given to me. That is one possibility. The other possibility is we cannot mold humanity into God's own shape, then lead this great, bright, struggling world to light. That is possible only if I know this struggling world has to be led to light. All right, but how do I do that? By what mechanism? I can't simply preach, yes, open your eyes and see things. It doesn't happen that because the person concerned who is blind, he has no faculty of opening the eyes himself. I cannot pull the lids apart and make him see that thing. It's not possible at all, you see. To mold humanity into God's own shape, that is one possibility. The other one is, or if you cannot mold humanity, if humanity is stupid, dumb, deaf, not pliable at all to do that thing, and yet if the future has to come, what do I do? Discover a new world. Possibly there is some new world already present where the future prospects can be worked out, can be present here. You discover a new world here and enter into that world and forget about this humanity, this matter, this life, this etc. Forget about that thing and enter into new world and the job done. That is a possibility also. Mold humanity or discover a new world. If the new world does not exist at all, you are assuming that there is a new world present somewhere. There is a place called New York somewhere and I have to discover and find it out. But if there is no New York at all, then what do I do? That's a dilemma, you see. So, the possibility is that if you cannot mold humanity into God's shape, if you cannot discover a new world because the new world does not exist, then please go ahead and create a new world. You are bent upon bringing out a new future. What do? Create a new world of your own. Forget about all these things and start a new creation altogether. Forget about all these things. These are the three possibilities which are open, but as I said just now, that is not possible. Understand? And the poet, the spiritual dimensions which are present there, that clue of how nature works is not given to Savitri yet. None of these possibilities she can effect put into action at all. None of these. Because the clue to the working of nature is not there with her. And if that clue is available, then only she can perhaps do this, do that. It's possible. Well, the whole thrust is of the future. Why mold a new humanity? Why discover a new world? Why create a new world? These are the three alternatives. Why? Because Earth must transform herself and equal heaven. She must change and be as good as heaven. Equal heaven. In every respect, in her powers of love, beauty, joy, happiness, whatever is required, she must equal heaven. Earth must transform herself and equal heaven. If that is not possible, Earth cannot go up and equal heaven, then let heaven come down. Or heaven descend into earth mortal state. But things must happen in future. The whole thrust of new world creation, of changing the humanity, of discovering a new world is that, look, one of these things must happen. Earth must be equal to heaven. If earth is not capable of equaling herself to heaven, let heaven come down and stay upon earth. These are the alternatives. Now the alternatives, as I said, at this stage have been kept hanging, so to say. Which will happen? That knowledge is not given to her. Because that is the work connected with the work of change or transformation or transmutation, which is the work of the executive power of nature, of Prakriti. And unless the mechanism of Prakriti is made known to me, I cannot do anything at all, you see. So I must get that yogic power to enter into the spirit of nature and see how she works, and then spell out all the details and work out every bit of it which is required of me to be done. Then only these possibilities can open out. So the whole thrust of the dream consciousness, of the parable, of the search for the soul, is to mold humanity into God's own shape and lead this great, blind, struggling world to light, or a new world discover, or create a new world. Yes, you are free to create a new world. In fact, that is exactly what Ashwapati had done. Ashwapati's way of working was, he didn't bother, so to say, about changing humanity. Forget about this creature. He is stupid, he is not pliable, he may not do what is required to be done of him. I can't do that thing. I can go around and see whether in the entire universe there is a new world, but there is none which will satisfy my requirements. It doesn't exist. Ashwapati sees that. So what does he do then? He enters into the house of the spirit, into the transcendent itself, and there he creates a new world. A new and marvelous creation was given birth by Ashwapati in the house of the spirit. He has established a new world already there, because there is no point in struggling with this human creature, human lot. It may happen, it may not happen. There is such a great uncertainty about the whole matter. And there is no new world which I have to go around and discover. Like a distant peak on the Darien, Jesus on it. It's not that also. It doesn't exist, that world. So Ashwapati decides to create a new world with all the possibilities which he has in his supermind. And it is that world which has to be brought down. Earth must transform herself and equal, or heaven descend into earth's mortal state. Now that new creation has to come down upon earth in the midst of this lot here. How does that happen? Who is going to bring down that new creation which he has established in the transcendent? Who is going to bring it down? And will it come down? And will this mortal stuff be able to bear the weight, the pressure, the impact of that new world here? It might get crushed, it might get lost, it might get dissolved under the pressure of that new creation, new world. It might happen that also. So Ashwapati has to take care of that also. So the best solution which he finds for all that is, look, this is entirely beyond me also, beyond Ashwapati also. I can't bring down that world. I have created all right. The new world I have created up there, all right. But now it is not my job to bring that new world down here. It is the job of the consciousness force, of Para Prakriti herself, of the Divine Mother taking birth upon earth and preparing the entire ground in the will of the Supreme to see that that new world comes down here. That is the task. And that is how these possibilities will be sort of sorted out, which will happen of these three. Whether the earth is going to climb up or heaven is going to come down, whether the humanity will be molded in the shape of God, whether a new world will be discovered, or a new world created and brought down. Ashwapati has already settled the issue. Yes, it is a new world which will come down here. A new and marvelous creation is born. And then on 29th February 1956, about that event, the mother said, yes, the new world is born, born, born.